Hey, travel family. Welcome to another episode of Travel Chat. If you are new here, this is where we talk all things travel, cruising, and experiences at sea. Today, we are continuing our sailing experience on Carnival Celebration, and I'll be covering the sail away party, all the activities, and the entertainment on board. So take a seat, grab some tea, and let's get into it. All right, so first, let's talk about this sail away party. Now, some of you may know Carnival has been doing this new change of how they are doing their sail away parties. And I don't know if some people have noticed, but it has changed a lot. Okay, so for this sailing, I must say there was definitely a lot of engagement, crowd participation. One thing to note, it was Veterans Day week, so there were a lot of Marines that were on board celebrating. They all had their matching shirts on, and they were all on the dance floor. So I must say the engagement was there. However, of all the sailings that I have been on, I must say this was probably the shortest sail away party that I have experienced. I kid you not, by the time the DJ went through its classic music and songs, and then also you had the Cat in the Hat characters that came out because they are really focused on making this sail away party a true family event. So if you are used to, the extra dancing, the extra shaking of the hips and stuff, you might as well just not expect that on the new Carnival sail away experience, okay? So I must say, be prepared for that family vibe. Even some adults that did try to do a little bit of extra dancing and kind of moving the hips and ready to let loose, they were told they had to stop. They had to settle that down. All right, so Carnival, I understand you want to try to make this a little family friendly, but you got to understand, you got a lot of adults on board that are ready to start their vacation and have a good time. They have been drinking since they got on the ship, and now they're ready to let loose. So come on, let them have a little bit of fun. However, like I mentioned, it lasted maybe 30 minutes. It was a short sail away party. I know I've said that probably 3 times by now. And what I mean by short is that I believe we were still making our way out of port when the sail away party was over. And when it was over, like, it got quiet. You could hear people, their conversations. I'm like, wait, what has happened? So I must say, it was a little disappointed than what I'm used to when it comes to a sail away party. And Carnival being known as the party ship, they definitely made a big change in their sail away party. So keep note of that. All right, so now let's talk about the activities on board. And I must say, there are quite a few activities. One, for instance, you have the classic bingo. I did not get a chance to play bingo this go around, but as you all have seen in my past videos, it is something that I have picked up and I have started to enjoy. I also missed out on my round of karaoke. They did have karaoke on the ship. I did pass by a couple of times during the karaoke moments, and it was a vibe, I must say. I was heading to another performance, so I didn't have a chance to go in, but they actually had some pretty good singers up there doing some karaoke. So if that is something that you are into, you will definitely have a blast. They also have water slides. So if you are wanting to take that adventure, I did not get on the water slide, but if you like to go down water slides, this is definitely something you will want to experience. I must say it wasn't no tube water slides. So it is the ones that you are going directly down, you know, the ones that you kind of get a wedgie from. So if that is your thing and that's something you like to do, it's definitely on this ship. Now with the Carnival Celebration, just like the Carnival Mardi Gras, if you have ever sailed on the Mardi Gras, we have in the past, they have a roller coaster on the ship. Now I did do the roller coaster on the Mardi Gras, so I actually skipped doing the roller coaster this go around. However, my husband did hop on the roller coaster just to see if it was a little different than what's on the Mardi Gras. I did hear it was slightly different, so you may have a little bit more, you know, curves and moments on that roller coaster. So if you are definitely up for a roller coaster experience, that's something to do. Try to knock it out as soon as you get on the ship. Sometimes if you are there the day of embarkation, you might be able to get on free. That happened to us when we were on the Mardi Gras. I can't guarantee it, but it's worth a try. However, you do have to book, and the fee is $15 for you to do, I think it's 2 laps or 3 laps. All right, they also have zip line. So if you are, all of these are so daredevilish, right? If you are up for the experience, you can do the zip line obstacle course. Now with this course, they do have a place where you actually kind of, you know, free line over the ocean. And actually, they are very careful with that experience, especially on days in which there are a lot of wind, or if a storm is coming, they will actually shut that down. So make sure if you are interested in doing the zip line, go on a day where that sun is out and there is not a lot of wind. But then also, if you like going to the gym, they do have your gym there. Just make sure, I do believe they close early, so try to make sure you get your gym time in by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I've heard that it was open a little later or even maybe a 24-hour gym. Carnival, I think that would be something people be interested in. But they also have a spa in which this go round, my husband was celebrating his birthday. And so for his birthday, I got him a massage package. And I must say, after that experience, he said that was the best massage he has ever received. So, hey, if you are up and you are needing a massage, go check out that spa. I heard they're really good. But they also have ping pong. For your sport lovers, they have volleyball, basketball, pickleball, and also miniature golf. Now, I must say I'm a pro when it comes to miniature golf. I did not get a chance to experience miniature golf this go around because it was just so many other things for me to do. But if you ever catch me on a ship, y'all make sure y'all hit me up for a round of miniature golf, okay? But they also have a jogging track and also a Serenity Adults Only retreat. Now, I must say, of all the ships that I've been on, the Serenity Adult Retreat area was really nice. The lighting, the seating, the pool setup, it was a true retreat indeed. So if you're looking for that space where no kids will be around, make sure you check out that Serenity Adult Retreat section. All right, y'all, so that was just the activities on the ship. Let's talk about the entertainment. So for the entertainment, one thing I have to mention is the Piano Bar 88. They have a lot of performances that goes down in the piano bar. So if you ever enjoy just a moment of that fresh piano vibe, that is where you want to be. They also have Punchliner Comedy Club. in which on this selling, they actually had 3 different comedians. Now, we were able to see, no, we actually saw 2 of the 3 comedians. We did miss one, but I can say one thing that I did like is they had multiple shows, and they weren't just all at night. So they definitely spaced out their shows so you will be able to catch a comedy show at a time that fit you. So kudos to Carnival for that. But also another one of my favorites, they had the Love and Marriage show. One thing about the Love and Marriage show, make sure you get there early. All right, because everybody, they have that one-time show and everybody is trying to be there. So make sure, try to set your time to get there about 30 minutes early. Grab you a good seat. All right. Then another great show was Deal or No Deal. Now, I actually played Deal or No Deal. It did give me that feel that I was actually, on that Deal or No Deal show. I didn't participate on stage as one of the contestants that had to pick as far as the, different numbers. But I did play, which all the audience members are able to play various rounds of Deal or No Deal on their mobile device. Well, I did, and I won $100 that night. I took my money and ran, okay? So if you like a good game to play, definitely go participate in that Deal or No Deal. But they also have Heroes Tribute Lounge. Another one of my favorite is the Family Feud show, which is set up exactly like the show. This show is so much like the real show that you can't even record while they doing Family Feud because of copyright. So if you like the Family Feud you see on TV, there's no Steve Harvey, but I must say our cruise director did a good job in hosting Family Feud. They also have 2 different shows. They have one that is family friendly, and then they have one that's for the 18 and plus that can get a little risky. But it was definitely all fun and a good time. We did the 18 and plus, which was a hilarious show, I must say. And then also they have different parties. So make sure that if you are going to be selling the celebration, take a look and check out what nights they're going to be having their various parties. So that way you'll make sure you pack accordingly. But they do have the white night party. So make sure you pack your white outfit. The white night party was amazing. It was on the pool deck. The weather was great. It wasn't hot. It was nice, cool, windy, but it was just right. So you was able to, get your groove on and dance and not sweat too much. And then they had the 80s rock and glow party. Now, this was something that I absolutely forgot to pack my 80s outfit. But if you do like to dress up and you want to participate in the 80s rock and glow party, bring your 80s gear, okay? There were people that were on there. They were ready. They had the tutus, the glove. One guy had a blow-up guitar. And this was all on the pool deck as well. They even gave you glow sticks. So you definitely were able to, even though if you forgot to bring your 80s gear, they definitely got you in the vibe by just having the glow sticks. And you had a good time. Also, for my late night clubbers, they have Limelight Club. We did go to the club for one night and it was great, I must say. It took me back to my younger days. I was dancing for each song. I was sweating by the time I walked out the club, and I really felt like it was the year 2000 all over again. So if you do like to have a moment in the club and really want to kind of feel that vibe, make sure you check out the Limelight. But for me, by the time the clock hit about 12, a little after 12, it was time for me to go to bed. But they also have a parents versus kids show that me and my husband was able to check out. And I was a little like, is this a little too kiddie just from the title of it all? But it was actually hilarious just to see as far as the parents versus the kids. So if that's something that you want to check out, if you bring your kids with you, that is definitely a good show to see. They also have other production shows such as Color My World. They had the Most Magnificent Circus Show. Lots of center stage performances. The Most Magnificent Circus Show was one of their center stage performances. Now, let's talk about this center stage real quick. One thing I want to say is that the seating is not the best when it comes to the center stage. The reason I say that is because the way that the stage is structured, it is actually set where it takes up 3 floors, okay? And depending on where you sit, you are probably going to not see the entire show. The only place that I would say is the best place to sit is actually on that first level towards the front. Anything beyond that, even if you're on the first floor and you're sitting further back, your view is going to be obstructed, okay? So make sure, even we tried sitting on the top level floor towards the very front. If you sit on that front row, I feel bad for the people that sit behind us because it's very hard to see anything. And even when we were sitting at the top level, you're having to look down and there's things that are happening underneath you that you're not going to be able to see. So I really wish a lot of more just thought went into the design of the center stage. However, if you own a ship that has that center stage set up, especially if you're going on the Celebration, get to your shows super early. I'll say even 45 minutes early if possible. There were times where we went to the show 30 minutes early and we still cannot get a good seat. So like I said, get there super early. If you want to see a full view of a show, make sure you are sitting like in the first 2 rows on the bottom level. All right. That's just coming from me. I'm telling you, you'll come back and thank me later. All right. But they also had dive-in movies. So if you like to swim and watch a movie on the big screen on the deck, that is definitely available. I love when they do the dive-in movies because that's when you begin to smell the fresh scent of popcorn. All right. So that popcorn, they like to pop. You go get you some free popcorn. Bring a blanket, especially if you're doing the dive-in at night. Go ahead, bring a blanket, get comfortable, eat your popcorn, and enjoy a movie. They also have Fun Squad trivia, which is really great if you are into the whole trivia vibe. They also have Guess That Groove. So if you are the type of person that, hey, you are pretty good in naming different songs and you know every song, go give it a shot at that Guess That Groove. I have tried my level at trying to guess songs. I am horrible. I might get 1 out of 12. All right. So if that is your thing, please go. Even if it's not, it's always fun just to see the other people try to guess the grooves as well. They also had What's Age Got to Do with It, beer pong, scavenger hunt, beanbag toss, and then lots of Lido deck and pool games. So every day your room steward is going to come bring you a activity entertainment schedule. Go ahead that morning while you're eating breakfast, figure out what you're going to do that day. Mark all the things that you want to do so that way you are making sure you are hitting each and every entertainment piece on that ship. All right. Now, Let's talk about the various bars on the celebration. This is for all my people that like to go get a good drink. Hey, you are on vacation and you want to make sure that you got that perfect drink in hand. Let me tell you, Carnival Celebration had all the bars lined up. You had your tropical bar, your Java Blue Cafe. So, hey, coffee lovers, they got you covered, all right? If you need that espresso or if you need as far as that black coffee, whatever you may need to get that caffeine up to get you through the day, that Java Blue on Celebration, Carnival Celebration is gonna have you covered. They also have the Golden Jubilee Bar, the Latitudes Bar, Aquaria Bar, the Alchemy Bar, Havana. Oh, let me tell you about that Havana Bar, all right? If you want some good Latin music entertainment, you have to definitely head over to that Havana Bar. We actually went a few times during our trip. It was always great entertainment, having the live vibe. As soon as you walk in, like you just couldn't help but to start dancing. But Carnival Celebration also had Bar A20. They also had Guy's Pig and Anchor Brew House. Now, about the brew house, you can actually sign up to do a tour because, yes, they have a real live brew house on the ship. And you can actually do a tour. You'll be able to set your reservation so you can set your day and time to go and check out as far as that brew house. They also have the Watering Hole, the Red Frog Tiki Bar, in which if you ever been on a Carnival ship, you always see Red Frog Tiki Bar, Tides Pool Bar, and then they also have the Serenity Pool Bar. So lots of choices, lots of option. Each bar, if you pay attention, each bar definitely serves something different, especially in the style drinks that they serve. So, hey, definitely check it out. Make sure you look at the menu to make sure they have the drink that you're looking for. All right. Now, that's for all the adult options. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the youth programs. I know that's something we don't normally talk a whole lot about because we don't sell a lot as far as with the kids. But if you are going to be selling with your kids, just know Carnival has Camp Ocean, which is supervised entertainment for young travelers 2 to 11 years old. Every time I pass by as far as the Camp Ocean area, it is definitely a live spot, all right? So I'm pretty sure there's plenty of things that your kids will be able to do. And another thing too that's pretty interesting is that they have a lot of cat in the hat activities. I think they have a moment where you can have breakfast with the cat in the hat. They have storytelling with the cat in the hat. So if that is something that you are definitely wanting to do with your kids, if you're looking to take your kids on the Carnival Celebration, hey, you're gonna have some activities for them, all right? And then even for the teens, they don't forget about the teens. The teens, they have a nice little area that was designated for them with different games. They had teens party time, digital playtime, active playtime. So definitely if you have a teen that likes to meet new friends, hey, that is the spot that they need to be. All right. So just a couple of things to do when you're thinking about those kiddos and you want to make sure they have a great time too, while you as the parent, the adult, can go and do the adult stuff. So just keep that all in mind. I'm pretty sure you do have to do reservations and make sure that you do sign your kids up for the various activities. And I'm pretty sure they'll give you a nice itinerary so you will know everything that is going on. Also note too, they give your kids a wristband that is designated as far as just for kids. So if anything was to happen, if they ever get lost or anything, the crew members know if they see that band, they have an easy way of, making sure they contact you. So I must say, I never was ever worried, even during the times that I did sail with my kids. Was never worried in terms of them being on the ship, participating in any of the activities, because they are pretty tight when it comes to security, especially after you drop your kids off at one of those camps. They are strict when it comes to going back and picking them up, and that you are who you say you are. So just a little tool tip if you are bringing your kids with you on the ship. All right, travel family, in closing, if I had to give Carnival Celebration, sail away party, entertainment, and activities a rating on my emoji meter, I will give it a fair reading. I must say there were things that I felt like Carnival can improve on. Like for instance, like I've mentioned a couple of times with their performances, being at the center stage and not really being able to catch the perfect seats, making it hard for me to really take on the full experience. Also, that short 30-minute sail away party. Like I really wanted, knowing that this was Carnival Celebration, like the name of the ship, it's called Celebration. I wanted more of that celebration feel. And I felt like it wasn't completely there. Like I want them to really revamp a couple of things and really make this ship what it's named, Celebration. Now I must say, I will sail Carnival Celebration again. However, knowing what I know now, I know that I'll have the mentality that I'm going for a true relaxation vibe and not a party celebrating type of vibe. So that's one thing that, hey, if you are going, take a note of. That was just mainly as far as what I experienced, and hopefully when you do sail, hey, you will have a great time no matter what. All right, Travel Chat family, that concludes another episode. Until next time, keep traveling, keep chatting, and thank you for watching Travel Chat.